Housewives squad, we are back in the building. Oh, yes! We gotta talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. The latest episode from last night, and we gotta get into some things. We got Drew and LaToya putting the paws on each other. Well, really, LaToya putting them paws on Drew, okay? And we know that's not gonna work out well because you know Drew is from Chicago. We got Kenya being a somewhat bad hostess, okay? And then her reading Marlo until Marlo then ran off from the table, okay? So we got to talk about all that. But first things first, y'all know how we like to do up on this channel. We got to, rate the episode. You know what I'm saying? So for me, okay, and I want you guys to rate the episode down in the chatterization. Now for me, I'm going to have to rate the episode at 8.5. Now, let me go ahead and give you guys this acknowledgement right now. This is an 8.5, okay, on a season that I feel like is not very up to par, okay? I just got to be honest. So as I'm giving it an 8.5, I'm giving it an 8.5 for what we got to work with this season, okay? You got 5 peach holders and 5 friends. Now, it shouldn't take 5 friends to make up for the lack of peach holders this season. I just don't understand. It is 17, 11 friends running around up on this trip, okay? Now, if you had just gotten 2 great additional housewives, and then you added maybe a friend here or there, then I think that would have sufficed. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, I felt like the episode, for me, I was laughing at different points and stuff like that. We had a little bit of drama. We ain't had no really deep moments or nothing like that. But we did get a couple of little revelations, with Dennis trying to come back with Porsha and all that good stuff like that. Now, I wonder if he's going to change his tune after Strippergate, but we'll just have to wait and see how that goes down. Because we do know that in a couple of months ago, he was talking about how he was single as F. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm like, this will be real interesting to see how it plays out over the next couple of weeks, okay? Now, with that being said, I want you guys to rate the episode down below while I take a sip of this water from this coldest water bottle. Listen, make sure y'all go ahead and enter that weekly giveaway, okay? So you guys can register to win your free bottle, okay? Or just go ahead and purchase down below and use my code, okay? Now, with that out the way, let's go ahead and get down with this episode. Now, Kenya and LaToya arrive to the house and they decide to plan a murder mystery. Now, I'm sure this sounds nice and good for the 2 ladies that took the private plane on up to the house, okay? But for the ladies that have been in the car for 8 hours, okay, this is not a good idea. When I get out of a car on a long trip, especially when I've been traveling with other people, the last thing that I want to do is hop up out the car. And then I gotta think. That's why I don't even do escape rooms. I don't want to think in my leisure time. If I'm supposed to be drinking, all I want to do is drink, okay? But I got a 2-drink limit. You know what I'm saying? Look like these girls didn't have that 2-drink limit, okay? So there's a discussion on the bus about why Kenya is bringing Brooklyn. Kandi asserts that Kenya doesn't have the level of support that some of the rest of the ladies have with, having family in town and stuff like that. And that sort of goes back to a lot of the other ladies' deep familial ties to the city of Atlanta. Kenya is more or less a transplant to the city. So it's not like she has a lot of the family connections. I don't know what happened with Aunt Lori and whatnot, because, Aunt Lori was doing a lot of pop-ups here and there. And then what about the cousin? Did she live there? What was going on with her? You know what I'm saying? I guess these 2 people, they like, we're not taking care of no babies. These not my responsibilities. These are your responsibilities. But ultimately, we also know that Mark Daly ain't never spent no private time with his daughter. So to me, it's like, I get it. And I get why Kandi was coming to her defense. And it really is a sad situation to me that she doesn't have that level of support. So for me, I don't mind that she is bringing the baby. And I don't think that the rest of the ladies mind necessarily that she is bringing the baby. I think they just wanted to also be able to bring theirs too. And I think what has to be understood going forward is that, as far as Kenya Moore is concerned, anytime she travels with the group, she's going to be bringing her daughter, okay? And so everybody else needs to make, those types of concessions for their babies if they want to be bringing the babies on the girls' trip. Now, I also get the stance that people say it's a girls' trip. They want it to be a girls' trip. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that notion as well. But I just think that in this situation, I'm glad that Kandi was sensitive enough to Kenya's situation in order to say that to the rest of the ladies. I think it also added to it that she was on a private jet and they was on a hot bus for 11 hours, okay? So I think that's that. Now, Cynthia arrives, and she's already like, well, the lady's gonna feel some type of way because, Kenya brought that girl LaToya with her and the rest of the ladies are traveling by hot bus, okay? And so as soon as they arrive, and just like I predicted, the ladies are rowdy, okay? They've been on the road for 8 hours. A 4-hour ride turned into 8 hours. What did they do? Did they stop and eat? Did they have to take multiple bathroom trips? Like, what was the issue here, okay? What's the real issue? Somebody let me know why it took y'all 11 hours to get there, okay? So when the ladies arrive, they are to pick their alter ego names. Now, I thought something would be fun in the chatterization. Let me know in the chat what your alter ego name would be, okay? Well, let me know what your alter ego name would be in the chatterization. Write it down right now. Just pick something fun. And that's what we're going to go by for the rest of the review, okay? Actually, go for it. Go by this name for the rest of the day, for the rest of the week if you want to. It's Black History Month. Do what you want to do, okay? For me, my name is going to be Rich Daddy, okay? I just like the idea of being rich, and I like the idea of, this beard making me be a daddy, okay? So we're going to be Rich Daddy, and y'all let me know who y'all going to be in the chatterization, okay? We're going to play along with this game, all right? So the ladies all picked their alter ego names. We see LaToya got her confessional. This is her first ever confessional, Trini Gal, okay? Now, the murder mystery game comes about when they are all drinking and they taking shots and everything. And in comes this lady from the back, okay? She come running in, pop, lock, drop, and then she drops to the floor, okay? I was like, what kind of murder mystery is this? Okay, so anyway, Porsha jumps behind the couch. Porsha's like, get me out of here, okay? Get me out of this piece, all right? The popos come in. They got the things up in the air, wave them like you just don't care, okay? And Tanya is really the only person that's like, I'm gonna play this game because I'm not getting a bad room again, okay, on this trip. Now, little this time, Tanya knows she don't have to worry about that. It's MARLO that's got to worry about that, okay? So Kenya is annoyed because nobody is really wanting to play this game. They've been on the road for 8 hours. You done gassed these girls up with shots as soon as they walked up in the door, as you should, okay? Now, I told y'all last time, this is how you get a thing started, okay? You give them shots as soon as they walk in the door, okay? And boy, oh boy, did the ladies turn up, okay? Now, Kenya wants them to play the game. Kandi is annoyed. And Porsha and Shamia, they just want to turn up. Porsha is like, I just came to dance and that's it. That is it. Players Club style, let me tell you. And I'm kind of with her on this. So finally, LaToya is like, girl, I did it. I was the one that popped the person in the back room or whatever. Now, little did we know, okay, she was about to pop Drew in the back room, okay? But anyway, so Kenya being annoyed, all right? She just finally says, she solves her own case, okay? Drew kind of shades, well, actually it was Kandi that shaded her in the show. Then Drew shaded her online with that solving your own mystery, okay? So then the next thing I'm wondering is, when did Fallon arrive? We were given no introduction to how she came about in the room. She was just there like she was already there. And I know because I was counting the people in the scene, Fallon was not there when the ladies arrived, so we didn't even get no kind of introduction. The next thing we know, LaToya is asking, well, girl, where you staying at, okay? And she's like, I'm staying with my husband. And that's when, Drew is like, well, LaToya don't care about the husbands, okay? So then The ladies move on into going into the rooms and whatnot. LaToya runs up on Drew. Like I told y'all in the preview last week, I said I thought she touched her arm. And I said, this is going to be a problem. This is going to be a problem right here, okay? She runs up, grabs her arm, and she says, let's talk about your struggling husband. Okay, so Drew grows off. She's like, don't touch me. Now, the other ladies try to tell LaToya at this point in time. MARLO is like, listen, it's a code. Ain't no touching, and back up out the personal space. Kenya basically has to also move LaToya out of Drew's personal space. That's when we get Drew, also saying, yo, I'm from Chicago. The last person that ran up on me and touched me got their head popped over here into a wall or something like that. And Kandi even says to LaToya, you were aggressive. So they finally get LaToya to apologize, but she's still pushing buttons, okay? She's like, well, I'm sorry, but can I touch you now? Drew was like, don't ever touch me, okay? Don't ever touch me, okay? Then LaToya backs up and says, well, I just want to touch the wig, okay? And so Drew has to say, do you know what's happening right now? Are you aware of what's happening right now? Do you know how close I am to popping you upside your head, girl? And in this second, I gotta tell y'all the truth. Listen, I'm all here for a newbie coming in hot and doing what she gotta do to stay afloat on this show. I am here for it. But the way she just keeps trying to pick at Drew, it's really gonna lead Drew to pop all the way off, okay? And at this point in time, when she does pop off, you can't keep poking a bear and expecting them not to do something to you. So it would behoove you to listen to the rest of the ladies, LaToya, and leave Drew alone in this moment, okay? And actually for the rest of the trip and for the rest of the season, quiet as it's kept, okay? But for some reason, I don't think that's gonna happen, because what it's looking like, LaToya, is giving you a thirsty type of look. You know what I'm saying? To the audience. I appreciate your attempt at shade, but it's like when you keep picking at a scab, you know what I'm saying? And then this thing start bleeding, then you can't be surprised, with the blowback that you get, okay? So we gotta leave it with that, right? So the ladies split off into two groups, the aunties and the nieces. So you got the aunties, which is Kenya, you got Cynthia, and you got Kandi, okay? Because Kandi she don't even drink. She just wants to eat, and she just want to have, a quiet, good old time, okay? So when the ladies reconvene, LaToya brings up the shade with MARLO's room being so small. Now, MARLO is heavily incensed by this small room, okay? Now, here's the thing, and I just, I don't know if you guys Watch What Happens Live last night with Jasmine Sullivan on there, and when she talked about this, she said it so eloquently. You don't have a good relationship already with Kenya, so really, if Kenya is planning a trip, you kind of need to be prepared that Kenya might put you in the worst room possible. And at that point in time, it would have behooved MARLO at that point to just say, you know what? I'm gonna go get my own hotel room, but that might take away from her scene time. So what MARLO does is, and it's actually a rather iconic move. MARLO moves her Louis Vuitton stuff into the living room area. Okay, she moves her stuff into the living room area, and I think this might be a little bit of a foreshadowing moment for what might happen later. Okay, and then she dubs her original room as MARLO's dressing room, okay? So that's gonna be her closet, okay, which we will see her in just a second, okay? So the next day, the ladies get up, Shamia tells Kandi that she's an auntie. Drew recaps the night with her husband. The night before, Brooklyn had also been dropped off. Kandi and MARLO. Kandi enters MARLO's closet, okay? And MARLO is dressing in a swimsuit and some thigh-high boots, okay, for the outside, okay? Now, I get it. She want a fashion moment, but that ain't practical, okay? That ain't practical. She has a conversation with Kandi about the beef with Kenya, and she wants to have a conversation, okay? So Porsha and Samia are sitting together, and we find out at this moment that Dennis has been sending Porsha messages about getting married and getting back together. He's like, "Ooh, baby, I love you. Can we go out when we get back? I can't wait to marry you.
I want to do this and that with you. I want to take you to Paris. I want to buy you some rings. I want to shower with you with gifts. I want you back in my life. I love you, girl. I want you to come back home to me. Come back and be with me. Come back and I love you. I need you. Marry me.
And Porsha's like, thanks. And so her and Shamia start to running around the pool. Now let me tell you the truth. I get nervous when people get to running around a pool. And that's when, and as I was thinking this, as I was watching it last night, I said, wait a second. I'm an auntie. I am an auntie. These two girls are running around the pool having fun, and here I am worried about somebody falling in, okay? I have turned into auntie or uncle or whatever you want to call it, okay? That's how I'm thinking. Maybe I'm old at this point. Maybe I'm old at this point because I think every time I see somebody run around the pool, I be like, oh, no, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, no. Okay. Anyway, that's what I was thinking at the moment. Now, anyway, the ladies are all bored and hungry, okay? Ain't nothing to do. They ain't got nothing to do on this day, okay? They should have saved the murder mystery for today, quiet as it's kept, okay? Marlo and Tanya are bored and hungry, and we find out that there's food in the refrigerator, but don't nobody feel like cooking on vacation, okay? And it's a man outside roasting a pig carcass, okay, in the back, but it ain't gonna be ready until later, okay? Now, Kenya says on Instagram, on the Twitter, I think that she had actually cooked some food, but they didn't actually show that. But that don't explain why the rest of the ladies were still hungry. So anyway, you know, Kandi tries to bring up the Marlo situation with Kenya. Kenya walks on out the door. Porsha and Drew are looking outside the window and they see a shark. They see the only jaws in the ocean. Marlo is still hungry. So Kenya at that point in time comes in with an order of crab cakes. Now Tanya has to call her out about this because she only ordered some for herself and they feel like she's being a bad hostess, which is actually the case. I mean, I do feel like you want to have some chefs around the house, you know, around the clock to prepare meals for the ladies as they go. That's how you really be a good host when you inviting people on these types of trips like this and you are the coordinator and we know you got the coin, okay? But at the end of the day, as soon as I saw that, I would have been on the phone ordering some Uber Eats for myself, Tanya and Marlo. I wouldn't have been waiting around for nobody to try to get me some food because I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm like, Kandi, when I'm hungry, I need to eat, okay? And speaking of Kandi, when she gets outside and she sees Kenya with that crab cake, okay, Kandi goes off.
Come with this crab cake only for yourself. I'm over it.
Okay, Kandi goes off. And I felt the same way in that moment too. You know we all starving. How you gonna come around here with this single order of crab cakes? You know what I'm saying? Now, and Kenya, meanwhile, she's just eating up in their face like. So anyway, the ladies, they diverge again, and then LaToya comes down with the group at the pool, which is Kenya, Cynthia, and Kandi, okay? She come down with a bag and what Marlo calls a non-HD wig for Drew, okay? She's still on this wig situation, which is a mistake, okay? Which is completely a mistake. So, Kandi and Cynthia don't think this is a good idea, okay? They like, let the wig go. So finally the ladies get back together and they reconvene for dinner. They got to dig into this pig carcass for themselves. And Porsha is like, no. And Kandi is like, yeah. Okay? Now, when I was looking at that pig carcass, I was thinking to myself, now, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I be trying to be vegan and I be trying to be vegetarian, but that pork be calling my name. So I understand in that moment, I understand what Kandi was thinking, but honestly, the way that pig looked, I did not want to dive into that. I did not want to stage dive into that. I want to dig my hands up in it. I didn't want to put a shovel up in it, okay? I didn't want to do nothing with that carcass, okay? Because it looked like it just, I ain't like it. I don't want to see the pig carcass, okay? So anyway, the ladies sit down and they're like, Porsha, can you say a prayer? Porsha's like,
Dear Heavenly Father, amen. Thank you for this food, okay? Amen. I pray that this weekend goes well. Amen. And these people eat this pig carcass. Amen. And it does them well. Amen.
Says a prayer, and then Fallon comes in, she hugging everybody, and Marlo's like, you need to wash your hands first, girl. You need to wash your hands. So then the lady gets back to complaining about the food, and LaToya comes up with this idea that she needs to apologize about the wig comment, and she tells Drew that she wants to purchase her wig. Now, Drew is like, well, I would never wear this wig. I thank you for thinking about me so much. and she runs off to go get a photograph of her, and she signs it for her biggest fan, which is LaToya. Now, let me tell you something. I love the way that Drew handled LaToya in this moment. This girl has been coming for her and coming for her and coming for her. And let me tell you something. Drew has just really maintained the situation with a lot of grace. You know what I'm saying? It's been some grace, okay? She done gave her grace in this situation. And the way she shaded her, it was so on point with that. You know, LaToya couldn't do nothing but accept it. And I liked it. And I liked it. And it seemed like it was squashed. Allegedly. Okay. Now, you know, Drew says, you know, when me and my girls have an issue, we like to put our things on the table. So that's when Marlo's like, well, listen, I need to put something on the table too, Kenya. Why we can't get along? And Kenya was like, you have done me wrong. Okay. You have done me wrong. Every opportunity you get, you come after me. And Marlo was like, well, girl, I just be talking about your bad skin and your fake booty. Like, that's gonna work, okay? This is not how you make amends, Marlo. This ain't how you make amends. You can't keep coming after somebody if you try. Let me tell you something, Marlo. You get more bees with honey, okay? You get more bees with honey. And if you want to get on this woman's good side and get a better room next time, you got to come at her with some honey and not this vinegar that you keep coming at her with, okay? That's all I got to say about that. So anyway, Marlo gone ahead and she steps on out the room. And so we left to wonder what's going to happen next week, okay? But next week we know for certain that this whole situation with this stripper is about to pop off. And I'm ready for it. Let me know how y'all feel in the comment section down below. And I'm going to catch y'all in the next video.